I'm David Fuente. I'm an assistant professor here in the School of Earth, Ocean, and Environment, and I have my PhD in City and Regional Planning from UNC Chapel Hill. So my research is interdisciplinary, and it sits at the intersection of environmental economics and policy, infrastructure planning and international development, and specifically I look at providing water and sanitation services in low resource settings. And so for me, that typically means doing work either in South Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and I also have some projects in rural Alaska and increasingly looking here in the southeast of the United States. So students who work with me here at the University of South Carolina can do a variety of different things, right? So much of my work is not based here in South Carolina. You know, it's either in sub-Saharan Africa, in Kenya and Uganda, or in very rural Alaska. So it's hard on a day-to-day basis to get out into the field. But sometimes we were able to get students out into the field over breaks and during the summer. But more often than not, you know, students who come in with various skill sets can work with me either on secondary data, so data that I've collected in the field from policymakers in the locations where I work, from primary household surveys that I collect, or from large publicly available data sets. So some of the work can be kind of working with data, doing some analysis on those data to help me move projects forward. But other times students can help me just synthesizing large bodies of literature. I find that's a great way for students to understand kind of the structure and nature of a field, and for them to get their heads into thinking about, well, what are both policymakers and academics talking about when they're thinking about water and sanitation service delivery from a variety of disciplinary perspectives. Oftentimes I have students come to me with ideas they want to pursue. So students can either come to me with a question they want to pursue, and if I can, I help them pursue it, or they can work with me on existing projects. So I teach a wide range of courses here at the School of Earth, Ocean, and Environment, and I think reflects my interdisciplinary background. Right? I was trained as a geologist and went on to get a degree in environmental science and environmental policy, and one in city and regional planning. So I teach Marine Science and Policy 390. I teach our Intro to the Environment course. I teach our capstone course for environmental studies and science students, and I teach a course in my research area of specialty. But across all of my courses, students can expect to find a mix of social science and policy. So students can typically expect to have to use a different part of their brain in my course. So they're going to find that in all my courses. In most of my courses, students are also challenged to write to different audiences. I think it's really important for social scientists and scientists to be able to communicate effectively. Students in my classes can also expect to be confronted with really challenging real-world problems, right? I think it's important that students develop the skills to solve complicated problem sets. The real world's often not that neat. So students in my classes are typically presented with case studies, with unclear solutions, and are forced to kind of think through the real-world implications of how we address these problems. Yeah, so the School of Earth, Ocean, and Environment is a really exciting place, right? We're home to both scientists and social sciences, but what I like about each of our degrees is that they're inherently interdisciplinary. So they could be interdisciplinary within the sciences or interdisciplinary across the sciences and social sciences. But across all four of our degrees, I think the nice thing is that students are challenged and have the opportunity to take insight from individual disciplines and either think really hard and creatively about fundamental Earth processes, or characterizing and understanding and thinking about how we might solve some of the world's most pressing environmental problems. So on one hand, we're kind of interdisciplinary in the sense that you can kind of bring the disciplines of chemistry, physics, biology to think about fundamental Earth processes, or again, thinking about how we leverage insights from the sciences and social sciences to solve pressing environmental problems. So for students who are either here at the University of South Carolina or who are considering coming here, one of the things I really encourage you to do is take a careful look at the faculty, both within the school and across the university, to get a sense of the kind of research and teaching that we're engaged in. I mean, one thing I love about being here is that, you know, every day I wake up and I get to see my colleagues who do very different things from me, doing stuff that I find fundamentally exciting. So it's really easy to kind of stay focused on the one thing you think you might be interested in, but I think there's real value to just kind of exploring the resources that you'd have access to here.